Well, happy 2026 everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm surprised you guys are still here because usually if you stop uploading after 6 months people just kind of go away. If you're still here, hope you have good plans for 2026. Please share them with me. I'm very interested in knowing what people are up to these days, and I genuinely mean it. I have nobody to talk to, so feel free to send me a message. My plans for 2026 are to continue making random ass videos. Some of them seem to just lift off, others are kind of less popular, and particularly we're gonna just keep talking about some of the things I'm doing, how I'm approaching it, and also I want to make more videos about the self-help stuff, more like philosophy based, not really sure how to describe it, but all about keeping yourself accountable. I think it's just a good idea. I don't know if they're popular or not, but I like making them. And where we left off in my last video in regards to the project was I needed to do this thing with the VPS. It all sounded very complicated. I was going to use Bitbucket integration. And then before I ended up going on vacation, I realized that you can just use Git itself. Now, if you pick up a book and you read the book, usually you would know things. Now I don't read books, so I find out like way too late that you can use Git to just SSH into a server, metaphorically speaking, because I'm pretty sure it's just Git that does it, and then copy over the code, and then Git allows hooks, which is just amazing. So you're gonna be pushing your code from your computer into the VPS, and then Git automatically has support for specific type of hooks. And from what I understand, these hooks can be seen as events run a particular piece of code. Now, don't quote me on this. I'm pretty sure it runs like a bash script, and if it doesn't run a bash script, it runs whatever script it runs. And what that allows you to do is perform a certain action. Now, you might see where this is going. So why would I do all this complicated stuff using Bitbucket and all these managed services if you can already do this out of the box with Git? Well, obviously there's good reasons to use a service like Bitbucket, or to install something like Gitea. Is that how you guys say it? Gitea? Because it helps you manage and organize the code, and it manages the human aspect a lot better than pure Git does. So you can optionally think about installing your own Git service. And the reason for this is I went back and forth. One of the issues is I don't want another service logging into my server. So if we had a Bitbucket needs to SSH into the server, right? Like it needs to go into the server, and then it has to update the code. This is supposed to be an arrow, by the way. I don't want that. I don't want another front, an attack front. I don't even trust my own computer, and sadly enough, that one still needs to do stuff with the server. So that was out of the question. So then obviously we can stop pretending Bitbucket is the issue, and just using Bitbucket as a static way to host the code. And my server, every 10 seconds or so, or every minute, it checks, is there a new version? And if so, okay, then just pull the code using Git. I don't like that. I don't like something pulling all the time. It feels dirty to me. I can't explain it. Maybe it's OCD, but I don't like it. The idea that this thing constantly pings Bitbucket, constantly asks for new versions. I would like a very, very clean setup. I got a piece of code, and this is my computer, by the way. This was my computer, and it shoots into the server, and that's it. It uploads the code, and after that process is done, the server does what it needs to do, and that's it. So every time I upload something, it does it. There's no polling, there's nobody else logging into the server, it's just kind of me. Now, then obviously the answer is, if you want to keep it on the server and you don't want it logging into it, then why don't you just make the server the one that's hosting the type of Bitbucket, right? Or the GitHub, its own GitHub. Now there's solutions for it, like I said. Yeah, I think it's Gitea. But then you are dealing with that overhead. Now you have to maintain a whole Gitea setup, and you have to secure that, and you have to learn how to use that, and it's like it keeps over complicating for no reason. So what I found out then is that the perfect setup for me right now is to just use Git itself, because, and most people will probably be like, well, of course, but is that Git itself already allows for these hooks, these executions, and you can just set them up. Well, congratulations. So now we have the bare minimum setup. My PC goes in here, updates the Git repository, which is listening for a hook, and this hook executes a certain command. And the command it executes is exactly what you would be doing manually, which is to pull the updated code, then take that code and build it. And if you want to be fancy about it, you check if it actually builds or not, which is a whole issue in of itself. I know that this is usually why you would containerize this part, right? That's why they have something as fancy as the pipelines, because it does all of that for you. And if that's correct, then we do the following. We shut down the web server. We just destroy it. That's one way of doing it. And then we copy over the files into a new version, and we restart the server. Another approach is obviously to not destroy the old service. It's to host the new one side by side and somehow at some point destroy the service, because you no longer allow it to accept requests. But you can see that all of these things are way too complicated. You're a single man. You have to do stuff as simply as possible. Great. But what does this setup force you to do, though? You got to think about this. This setup forces you to do the following. It forces you to accept that every request is static. It forces you to assume that sometimes your service might just be broken if you if you upload the files. It will immediately kill the service. And so any stateful connections need to take that into consideration. So if you have like a socket connection to this service, that one will be destroyed. So you need some way to restart this connection, but also to refine the state of it. Now, thankfully, I just have a basic website. I'm going to do everything with static site hosting, static site generation, and you just use something like, what is this called? Transactions. Yeah, you have like a transaction system, so you keep track of what's been done and what hasn't. But also one of the things that you now understand is, what about secrets? What if you have a configuration that your service needs, but you haven't added that to your configuration file? Your service now needs to keep in mind that it might not have a configuration variable. So therefore, use configurations as optional. Don't assume that you have email credentials, because you might not. You might push out an update that has emails, and before you didn't, and you didn't set that up yet. So keep all of these things in mind. But this is the simplest way to do it. It literally is like a 3-step process. It's you have your computer, and then you go into your server, right? You upload the code. This one immediately kills your application, builds the new one, and then restarts it. So it builds the new one. How do I make a hammer? Okay, just imagine that's a hammer right here. And then it restarts your service. And with this setup, you have no intermediates, you have no hassle. There's good and bad sides to this, but this is the easiest way to set it up. And as per my mental model, take an idea that you have, like I want continuous integration, and get the most basic version set up, because you're going to find out sooner or later if you actually need more complicated setups. God, I have a video editor, so I can add this to the end of it. We're going to be setting this up in the upcoming days. And also, well, I say I'm going to do it. I'm going to show you that it works, hopefully. And the way to test these hooks, by the way, is to use webhooks, because I found out that Discord still allows you to have webhooks. So I can do a very basic test of uploading code to the server, and that will pull off what I assume is a bash script, which will call a curl command to my little Discord server using Discord webhooks. And I'm going to be making another video specifically on the webhooks right after this one, so you too can learn how to have a webhook go to your Discord server, and you can do funny stuff that you might actually enjoy doing.